Hello, my friend. I'm so excited to dive into this week's podcast episode for you on this month's astrology. Oh my goodness. October is going to be a huge month for you. In this week's episode, I'll be diving deep into the transits of October for you. I will also go in depth into the transits of this week. I will then chat more about not only dating using astrology, but also how to kind of navigate this and how you can kind of see this through your solar return charts. I will then end off this podcast episode with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into it. I'm going to first give you a good overview of October's astrology with the major transits, and then I'll dive deeper into the energy for the month. All right, starting on October 6th, we have Mercury moving into the sign of Scorpio. Then on October 7th, we have a very powerful full moon in Aries. More on that soon. Then on October 13th, we have Venus moving into the sign of Libra, which is beautiful, super lovely. Then on October 14th, we have Pluto stationing direct in the sign of Aquarius. This is honestly really supportive. Very helpful to note to see what comes up for you. Then on October 21st, we have a new moon in Libra, starting a brand new beginning for you in the Libra portion of your chart. And I would say more so specifically around relationships and themes on relationships. More on that soon. Then on October 22nd, we have Neptune moving back into the sign of Pisces. October 23rd, we have Scorpio season beginning, and then we end off the month with Mercury moving into the sign of Sagittarius on October 29th. So those are the major transits of October. Yet let's dive a bit deeper into this energy. With this full moon in Aries on October 7th, this is the closing of a chapter for you, and this is going to be a bit uncomfortable. I know we will end eclipse season in October, so you're going to have this relief. It's not going to be as chaotic as September. I've been getting so many messages from you all in terms of just the chaos of eclipse season. So with eclipse season ending in September, yes, things are going to be a lot more calm in October. Yet the thing is, because Chiron is currently transiting Aries and Libra season is beginning in October, we have a lot of oppositions to Chiron. So a lot of the month, we're healing a lot of wounds around our sense of worthiness in relationships. That is going to be a huge theme in October. So with the full moon in Aries on October 7th, this is going to highlight this. This full moon in Aries is going to be a time when you're going to get more clarity around who you are, who you're becoming. That's going to be a huge theme for you in terms of your self-actualization, in terms of what makes you you, and a relationship could help you see this during this time period. Yet this is going to be a time when you're going to understand more about which wounds do you still have that you still have to heal through. And this is uncomfortable. I do think you're going to have a lot of intense conversations with this full moon in Aries. I'll dive a lot deeper into the full moon in Aries chart for you later this month in next week's episode, because that's going to give you a really good overview of what to expect. Yet I wanted to just highlight this because, yes, October will be a lot more calm than, let's say, September in terms of that intensity, in terms of those highs and lows. However, with all of these planets kind of aspecting Chiron in Aries, because we have a lot of transits in October that kind of touch on Chiron. And I'm going to point some out. We have the Sun opposing Chiron on October 17th, and we also have Jupiter squaring Chiron on October 23rd. So with this, we're trying to really look at a part of ourselves where we're trying to go after what we want, but there's a part of ourselves that doesn't believe it's possible for us, or you could just feel like you're still reenacting this story of I'm not worthy of what I want, especially when it comes to relationships or your home life with Jupiter in the square to Chiron in October. And we're going to feel that energy throughout the month because Jupiter is a slow moving planet. So these are going to be some big themes. We still have the support with Uranus in Gemini and this trine to Pluto in Aquarius, which is really, really helpful in terms of our community and our connections and how we are forming together as a society. Yes, we can still see the intensity of the US Pluto return and a lot of things happening in the US, but also across the world. We are having a lot of revolutions right now with Pluto in Aquarius. And with Pluto stationing direct this month in the sign of Aquarius, I do see this as us really understanding more so this story of how can we better connect to our community? How can we stand up for the people? How can we form unions that support one another? How can we show more love and compassion to the people that we're with? And I think we're going to make more realizations. I think a lot is going to come up to the surface during this time because Pluto is the planet of death, transformation, and rebirth, but it also rules survival. It's also a planet that really kind of uncovers what's beneath the surface. I think we're going to hear some secrets coming out this month with how governments are treating us and how we kind of have to change things for ourselves, how we can change society. It is going to be a process. Pluto is going to be here for 20 years. So keep this in mind, right? It's uncomfortable. Revolution is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, but it is supportive if you're going after something that's going to benefit more people, that's going to help more people. Now, I also want to mention the new moon in Libra on October 21st. So I will dive deeper into that in an upcoming episode. Yet the new moon in Libra is going to be this brand new beginning for you. And yes, it's going to be a new beginning based on where it is in your chart, but we're also going to see some themes around relationships with this new moon in Libra. And this is going to be a different approach for you in terms of how you approach your relationships. May this be business partnerships, friendships, romantic relationships, your community. These are going to be highlighted during this time. And we still have some Chiron activation with this new moon. So this could look like trying to find a healing community for yourself. This could look like trying to seek out healers, astrologers, tarot readers, whatever that may be for you, therapists. So keep this in mind for later on this month. Now, those are the major themes happening for you in October. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, please like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help me out if you're watching this on YouTube. And please comment sunflowers if you've made it this far. Now, I want to dive deeper into the transits of this week for you. So we just had that solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21st. You can go check back to my previous episode if you want to dive deeper into that because we're going to feel this energy all week. It is a very intense new beginning for you. And if you also missed it, I am hosting the Moon Sign Creative Community time travel ritual that will take you back to 2015 to 2017 to see which major themes for you are going to come up during this past solar eclipse and how that's going to affect you till 2027. I am hosting this event on Monday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Replays are available if you can't make it live. And I hope to see you there because honestly, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to help you so much in really deeply understanding your eclipse story. And as a bonus, I am giving mini readings for the solar eclipse in Virgo. So if you want to deeply understand how it's affecting your chart specifically, I hope to see you there. I am releasing this on the 22nd, so it will be tonight if you're watching this as it's released. And if you've missed it, again, replays are available. and it's going to be so much fun. Okay, let's dive into the major transits of this week for you. Now, on September 22nd, we have Mars entering the sign of Scorpio, and this is going to shift how we work and date. This is huge. I've been looking forward to this because Mars in Libra, I would say, was very uncomfortable. So keep this in mind. I will say this is because traditionally Mars is uncomfortable in the sign of Libra. And with this energy, when we're shifting into Mars in Scorpio, Mars is at home in this sign. So things are going to feel a lot easier when it comes to taking initiative and taking action, especially when it comes to things around your work, such as being investigative, doing research, getting things done, which is very, very important. But then also in terms of your dating life, this looks like people taking initiative, taking action, right? Whereas Mars in Libra could have been a bit more wishy-washy. You could have felt like some people were a bit more flaky. You could have felt like, okay, I don't understand who's supposed to do what on this term project, for example. Yet with Mars in Scorpio, we're going to feel a lot more drive. This feels like a boost in energy. And it's very, very helpful in terms of dating because, again, you have to shoot your shot. You have to shoot your shot if you want to get on a date in any way. So this is important. And if you're already in a relationship, this is very helpful in terms of just spicing things up in terms of your sex life. Great to note because Mars in Scorpio is a bit more sensual. Scorpio does rule the sexual organs. So this is really fun. This is very flirty as well. On the same day, Libra season begins. And with this shift, we're going to really prioritize our relationships. We're also going to prioritize our values a lot more and how we are approaching our artistic life, what that looks like to us. I always see Libra season as this time period where we could be a bit more social. Libra is an air sign, so there's this social component to it, but you're going to learn a lot of lessons through your relationships this upcoming month. Yet Libra is ruled by Venus, so there's this artistic component to Libra. There's also this energy of a different perspective, of seeking out knowledge that is different from what you are approaching a situation in and wanting to grow in that way through others. Now on September 23rd, we have the Sun in Libra opposing Neptune in Aries. This is going to be confusing. I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit of a foggy day. You could feel like you're a bit confused about a certain relationship. So yes, we have that momentum with Mars in Scorpio this week. However, we're still feeling that energy again from that intense solar eclipse in Virgo. And then with this opposition to Neptune, this feels as though maybe someone is being a bit unclear in terms of what they want in a relationship. This could also look like someone being a bit wishy-washy or gaslighting you in terms of an extreme. I will say that this is an energy of, okay, perhaps I need more information before I understand what this relationship is. Perhaps you need more time. I would say this is not the best time to make a very, very definitive decision. Give yourself compassion and grace. Yet the benefit of this energy, I will say, is to do a meditation, to go to a yoga class, to do something that's more spiritual. Neptune really helps us highlight this aspect of ourselves and really helps us connect to something bigger than ourselves. So I think this will be a really good day to do something creative, to go to a photo shoot if you have anything planned for that day, or potentially go to a gallery or do something artistic. This could be really, really fun to do. Now on September 24th, we have the Sun in Libra trine Uranus in Gemini, and then also the Sun in Libra trine Pluto in Aquarius. This is very helpful. This feels very social. So you could have a big social event this day, you could be connecting to community, you could feel like an unexpected opportunity comes to you to go to a party or to network. This could also look like you going to a protest and feeling connected to those people on a soulful level. This could also look like you in a place where you're tuning into the community you do have. Potentially you join an online community or you do something with your friends that feels as though you're being seen in some way. I do think you could get a big breakthrough around how you're connecting in community and what your support system looks like right now if you need to change anything when it comes to this. This could also look like just feeling very invigorated and empowered by the people you surround yourself with. Now, on the same day though, we have Mars in Scorpio in a square to Pluto in Aquarius. This feels uncomfortable. This looks like you're trying to move forward with a work or dating situation and someone is being a bit more manipulative. You could feel as though there's a frustrating component to this. And it feels as though you're trying to change something. You're trying to change how you approach your work life or dating life. And this could also look like how you approach your community, your friendship group, or how you work maybe in a team, for example. This looks like a day where you kind of have to have a team meeting. Things need to be discussed and boundaries need to be put in place before you move forward. Again, be careful of people being a little bit more manipulative during this day. This looks like someone is having some issues with control. Although this energy can be supportive, if there's something you want to change in your life, sometimes you need to take a step back. Remind yourself of this. Maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you can ask to have the team meeting on a different day or to approach a certain topic on a different day if you have that capability. Keep this in mind. However, it is going to help you transform how you approach a situation. So those are the major transits of this week. And let me know what ends up happening for you. Let me know if this resonates with you during this week. I love hearing from you. You can comment down below. I love seeing it. I also want to mention I have something special coming out in October related to money and astrology. So stay tuned for that. If you're not following me on my Instagram stories, go follow me there. I'll be announcing it very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. That's super, super fun. And I also want to mention that I have moved my October readings to November. So if you wanted a reading with me personally, to look at your birth chart, to look at your solar return birthday chart, to really dive deep into your transits, if that's something you want to explore with me, I have 5 spots left for the rest of the year, and I'll have those in November. I won't have any readings in December. Yet I decided to move my October readings to November because I have some really fun things planned for October that I can't wait to share with you. So if you want to just save your spot for a private session with me in November, I'll leave a link to that down below. I can't wait to read your birth chart or your solar return chart if you want to explore the major themes for you in your next year ahead. And I just want to thank all my previous clients because honestly, I can't do this job without you. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for the people who keep rebooking with me. It really does mean so much to me. And I'm so happy so many clients have seen such transformative results in terms of changing jobs, changing careers, launching their business, changing relationships, letting go of toxic relationships, getting into healthier relationships that are more aligned for them, and learning about their past lives, seeing what would make them more fulfilled this lifetime. So thank you again. I'll leave the link for that down below if you want to book with me. And let's dive into the topic for this week. So I wanted to talk a bit about relationships this month because we have relationships highlighted this month. I think this is going to be a huge month for you to reevaluate your relationships. May this be business partnerships, friendships, or romantic relationships. This is going to be a huge theme for you this month. So I wanted to talk a bit more about my own personal experience and how I've used astrology to help me through this, how I've used astrology to really understand more about my past relationships and also my romantic relationships specifically, because it has helped me understand when a new relationship is potentially coming in for me, how to check if someone is aligned for me, and actually how to understand more so what type of energy am I looking for in a lifetime partner. So what's really interesting for me that I wanted to bring up this week is I've been having cycles with my friendships and also with my romantic relationships, but I haven't been dating anyone serious since 2019, so it's been a long time. As a Libra rising, I could see why that happened with Chiron moving into Aries. So if you've been a Libra rising, you know how it's been in terms of your relationships and healing a lot in terms of how you see yourself through relationships, how you see yourself as worthy as a relationship that you desire, and why that's coming up for you. Now, it's really interesting this year. I've had some situations with friendships where I'm still learning a lot from friends I've had for years. And I'm also witnessing friends I've known for over decades to ghost me or to leave me on red for months, to vanish. And it's been really interesting because I'm not triggered in the same way I was before around certain situations. I am in certain cases, but I no longer feel that intensity, that pain that I used to feel of feeling abandoned by anyone. And that's still a core wound for me personally that I want to share with you because, of course, my father passed away at a young age when I was 11. So for me, this lifetime, I've been learning how to heal this abandonment wound in relationships. And Chiron transiting my 7th house in the sign of Aries has this activated for me in terms of feeling worthy of being someone that a friend checks in on, being someone that a romantic partner is taking initiative and taking action to ask me out, to set up the date, to really show me that they care, to show me what's possible in a romantic relationship. It's been years of me learning this with Chiron transiting my 7th house. I'm so sorry if you hear also the noise in the background. I'm going to try and record through this because it is very, very important for me to record right now. Yet there's a lot of construction and it's eclipse season, so you know it's more intense. Yet what's really important for me to share with my experience of learning what kind of relationships are good for me. May this be friendships, may this be romantic relationships, may this be business partnerships. I'm learning to really trust my intuition and to also speak up more if something's hurting me, if something's bothering me. I think in the past, I would avoid that difficult conversation, not so much for romantic relationships, but more so for friendships. And for me, it's me witnessing that I need to really go outside of my comfort zone, right? And I think in the past, when I was growing up, I had a lot of experiences where I was yelled at for kind of sharing my perspective or my voice, or if I felt like something was unfair for me. I had an experience when I was younger, multiple experiences that were traumatic in terms of me trying to connect with my parents, right? So I've had experiences where they stonewalled me, they ignored me. I've had experiences where they've yelled at me, more so in terms of a mother figure. And I know right now I've learned through that process that I've, of course, forgiven my mom for this because she was in a stressful place. She was in a very hard situation. She didn't know how to regulate her emotions. No one was taking care of her in this case, especially just the fact that she had to work so much. However, I could have compassion for her. I could have compassion for my childhood self and understanding, okay, I'm learning a lot about how I have to approach my relationships in a healthier way. And this can risk some friendship breakups. This can risk people leaving my life. And it has. It has. So for me, when a friend I've known for over a decade didn't respond to multiple text messages that I sent them, I wasn't triggered. But now I know that after a certain point, if you're no longer in the same life stage as a certain friend or with any kind of relationship, really, sometimes someone can't meet you where you're at based on the vibration of that person, based on their life path, based on what they're going through. Sometimes people just miss text messages. And sometimes it's not intentional, but energetically, like attracts like. So if someone's not in that energetic place, they can't reach you where you're at. And that's not to say someone's in a lower vibration or higher vibration. It could just be a different vibration too. Keep this in mind, because for me, just learning this gave me so much relief, because in the past, my mind would go to, what did I do wrong? Why does this person hate me? Why is this happening to me? Yet now I don't take it personally. Yes, of course, there's certain situations where I need to step it up. I need to improve my communication. I need to really tell someone how I'm feeling. Yet there's other opportunities to give someone space, to give someone the opportunity to step it up for you. And that's what I'm learning this year specifically, is if someone cannot meet you where you're at, stop chasing those people. I'm going to say that again. Stop chasing those people, because some people want you to chase them. And I've noticed this with friends, which is very strange to me. I'm just like, I know sometimes someone's going through a hard time, so it's actually really good to check in on someone. However, if it's constantly you checking in on that person, I want you to take a step back and just realize, okay, but who's checking in on you? And I noticed when I stopped doing this that a lot of friends just kind of left my life. Like, we're still friendly, we're still, chit-chatting on Instagram. However, it's very interesting that I'm noticing this now. So this month for you is going to be a reevaluation of all of your relationships. Now, when it comes to dating, what's helped me in terms of just my birth chart is understanding the transits of what's happening for me. I know Virgo risings are also going through it in terms of understanding which relationships are good for them long term. What does that look like for them? Because Saturn was transiting their 7th house for quite some time. We did have, Saturn moving into Aries for a time period. It's back in Pisces right now. So Virgo risings are really feeling this in terms of understanding which kind of relationships are good for them long term. Libra risings are really going through it. If you're a Libra rising like me, then you know it. Yet what's really helped me throughout this process is also looking at my solar return charts. So your solar return chart is essentially a chart you get around your birthday every year, and that's going to show you the major themes for that upcoming year. For myself, what I've done for myself is looking back at old solar return charts from when I got into relationships with previous exes. And let me tell you, it's mind-blowing to see certain themes highlighted during those time periods, because it also gives me a lot of relief knowing that in the next few years, I have more opportunities to meet someone new, to meet a relationship that is good for me. Because honestly, if you told me I would be single for over 6 years now, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have been upset, and I would have been really, really frustrated. However, I'm so happy for this time for myself. I'm actually so grateful. Like, I'm at a point in my healing journey where, yes, there's a lot of conversations where it's harder to meet someone when you're older. However, the thing is, I've also realized that I'm gonna let go of this timeline that it has to be at a certain time. I do not want kids myself, so I know for myself that is not an issue. I know it can be for some people. However, for myself, it's me realizing I am only waiting for my person. And yes, I do believe that you could have multiple people that are aligned for you. However, I think just understanding what you're willing to give up for a relationship, but more so learning to trust the process of finding that person, because I don't want to sacrifice too much for a relationship. I don't want to sacrifice my peace. I don't want to sacrifice a large amount of time. Yet you will have to sacrifice at least some time to meeting a person. You will have to sacrifice certain things to get to your romantic partner. So I think this week, ask yourself what you're willing to kind of sacrifice for what you want in your relationships. What does that look like? But what are you willing to wait out on? What are you willing to do for your relationships? I think oftentimes we keep thinking relationships are this one-sided thing of what are they going to give me? But what are you willing to give to your relationships? What are you willing to do to get closer to a friend, to get closer to a romantic relationship, right? That can be scary. Intimacy can be scary. Vulnerability can be scary. And I've experienced this in the last month where I had to be vulnerable to a friend around an insecurity, around something that hurt me. And they took it so well. And it really surprised me in the best possible way. And I'm still learning so much about relationships this lifetime, of what I'm still healing through, what I still have to learn, what I still have to do better in terms of my communication, in terms of showing up for my friends in the ways that they want to feel supported. And a great thing to look at in someone's chart is their moon sign to see how you can better nurture them, how you can better be there for them, what they really, really value in terms of taking care of themselves so that you can help in that process, whatever that may be. Maybe it's something small in regards to this. Perhaps that's words of affirmation. Perhaps that is gifts. Maybe that's acts of service. Think about these things, look at your chart, and really pay attention to your seventh house ruler. What is aspecting your seventh house ruler? What planets are really evident in your chart in the seventh house, but also the fifth house for dating, and also potentially the 11th house for friends, for community. What is in your chart for this? What sign is ruling this for you? What are the planets there, if you have any planets? Look to that, because that's going to give you so much information as to how you are approaching your relationships. Now, if you want help with this, if you want me to deep dive into your birth chart for you to really support you in terms of how you can develop closer relationships, may this be closer in terms of romantic relationships, business partnerships, or friendships, and really to look at your solar return chart for this year, I do have some spots for November. You can check out the link for that down below. I'm happy to look at your chart for you. I love deep diving into this. Go read the testimonials, go read my reviews. I've gotten such amazing, amazing feedback from these sessions together. All right, so let's dive into your tarot reading for this month. So the first card out is the Page of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so yes, this month won't be as intense as September. However, this is going to be a month where you're trying to reground and feel safe in your body. This is the month to prioritize nervous system regulation, to learn more about how to take care of your body, do somatic healing, really take care of yourself in terms of moving your body, perhaps going on walks, doing yoga, doing things that make you feel safe and secure no matter what. So potentially you're letting go of a potential income stream this month. This is possible. This could also look like you trying to let go of something that used to make you feel safe. I'm hearing the message, potentially you used to drink a lot to numb your feelings. You're not doing that anymore. You're trying to really be healthy with your choices. This is a possibility. This could also just look like you trying to see, okay, maybe I shouldn't doom scroll right before bed, which is something I'm still trying to learn how to stop doing. And what can you do instead? Which habit can you replace instead that's a lot healthier for you? The next card out is the Hermit card. So this is going to be a month of deep reflection. This might not be a month where you're taking so much action. I do think Mars and Scorpio will help us with maintaining what we're building. However, with the Hermit card, there's still something here that you're trying to learn, that you're trying to process, that you're trying to go within, reflect, and see what needs to change in your life. How can you approach situations with more love, with more clarity, with more compassion? This is going to be a month where you're going to be in a deep reflective mode of what you want to change before the year ends. I'm hearing this now. The next card out is the Hanged Man. So this is a month of new perspectives. And I love this during Libra season because this month you're trying to see someone else's perspective. You're trying to see someone else's opinion. You're trying to give someone grace, but also reflect on, okay, how can I approach this in a different way? Again, with the Hanged Man, our hands are tied behind our backs. We're not really in a place of fast moving movement. You could feel a bit stressful in terms of this. You could feel like you have to first analyze. You first have to really pay attention to what's happening for you before taking that action. Keep this in mind. So with the Hanged Man and the Hermit card, yes, this is a lot more calm than last month. However, this is a month of reflection. This is a month of refining, really understanding what we can maintain and what needs to change before you actually take that fast moving action. Our challenge this month is the Sun card. So there's something here where you're not feeling fully happy about a situation, or you could feel like you want to have more fun. You want to connect with more people. You want to go to those parties. You want to be celebrated. However, there's something here where your inner child is craving something different. Your inner child is craving, okay, what have I done to express my joy? What have I done to create? Have I done something for myself? Have I created for myself? Have I just done work? Have I not done anything that's spiritually connected to me? Have I not done the rituals? Have I not done something that I know is going to nourish my soul? The Sun as a challenge is helping you reflect on, okay, in what ways are you not being seen? In what ways are you hiding? This is huge. See what you're doing that's holding yourself back, because this is the month where you need to change things up. I asked what would help us move through this. We got the 10 of Wands. There's still something from the past you're trying to let go of. There's something that you're like, okay, this is mental, spiritual, karmic baggage I want to be rid of. I want to let it go. This is the month where you're just saying goodbye. Okay, remind yourself of this. Let this go. I would highly, highly recommend doing a cord cutting ritual for this month. Wait until eclipse season is over. Wait until October. But do some cord cutting, do some meditation, do some cleansing. Actually, you can still cleanse, of course, during eclipse season. So cleanse your space. Do things that really help you declutter your mind. Donate your items. Do things that really help you purge. Your oracle cards are plant a seed and wait. So this is a month where you're setting intentions. You're prepping, you're planning, you're really trying to see what's possible for you. A really good journal prompt for this month is, what is my dream life? What does that look like? What would I be doing every day? Ask yourself this, plant a seed and wait. I love this. You also got content with what I already have. This looks very, very similar in terms of that maintenance, in terms of reflections and understanding, okay, maybe I'm not as isolated as I think. Maybe I need to remind myself of reaching out to an old friend that I miss. Maybe I need to remind myself of who's already in my corner. How can I be grateful for what I currently have? How can you create a gratitude ritual for yourself for this? So I love this. And the last card out is, it's not a competition. I'm seeing this as the full moon in Aries energy, and also Mars in Scorpio too. Try not to compare yourself to others that are your age, that are on different timelines, that are on their own paths. This is a card to remind yourself, you don't need to compete with other people. Really pay attention to what's possible for you. Celebrate your wins, celebrate your journey. Just know that it's not linear. Sometimes it's messy. Remind yourself of this. So I really, really hope this helped, friend. Let me know in the comments if it resonated with you. Let me know what you're most excited about for October. I will say I'm releasing your October horoscopes very soon on my VIP membership. If you become a paid subscriber on my Substack, that's how you access them. It's so juicy, so good. It gives you a really good overview based on your rising and sun sign. I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to dive into it. And if you want to discover your eclipse story and how it's going to affect you till 2027, come join me in the Moon Sign Creative community for our Eclipse Revelations event on Monday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Replays are available. I'll leave a link to that down below. I hope to see you there. And just remember, the universe has your back. And with peace and love, take care.